do you think is going to win the South African elections next year? And I know you and I off camera had spoken about the EFF potentially working with the DA, of which the DA has openly said the EFF is enemy number one, more than the ANC.
That's just a ruse. They're fighting this war by deception. They're smart. The DA, EFF are playing a smart game. Right. A reason why I say that the EFF is going to vote with the DA is Floyd Shivambu says it on his own in an interview that he did with Sizwe Mpofu.
Dr. Sizwe Mpofu Walsh. Floyd Shivambu, yes. Is he the deputy president of the
EFF? And he said clearly.
He said we're willing to work with the DA.
He says the ideal scenario is for us to totally dislodge the ANC as the opposition. We come together, we unite, and we totally dislodge the ANC. We remove their ambassadors, we remove their military generals, we remove everybody, every remnants of them. We take it out by the roots, and take them out, right? And then we put a new system in the system, right? Now, when you listen to that, it sounds very sensible. But when you start to ask yourself, who is the opposition and what kind of system will they put in, you realize that EFF is what, 6.8%, 6.6% in the national thing?
I don't know if they got close to 10 last time, but please carry on.
Right. They are a minority and DA is 22%. They are the biggest opposition political party in South Africa, not the EFF, even though the EFF tries to create the impression that they are that big.
They're big on Twitter, boy.
They're big on Twitter.
Whenever I run polls, the EFF wins all of them by far.
But it's the same thing, like Chamisa was big on polls, but in reality, he didn't have the support that he required. So anyway.
At the 2019 national elections, ANC got 62%, the DA got 22%.
And EFF? Sorry, 6.6%.
6.3.
Yes.
6.3%.
So they are a nothing party, all right, which plays big. So when they get into this coalition with the giant DA, they're going to be a junior player in this coalition of opposition parties that have decided that ANC has not gotten 50%. So let's all come together and remove the ANC. So they will be able to remove the ANC, but the DA will be calling the shots. Not only will they call the shots because they're a politically bigger party, but they've got more money, and the whole entire private sector system supports the DA.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's correct.
And EFF will be told in no uncertain terms, you've got no security, you've got no guns, you are nobodies. Where now Floyd and Julius, there's VBS, there's on-point engineering, we can destroy you, of which I think they will destroy. So the DA will get to control power. But what happens when they control power? The difference between the DA and us black people is white people know how to use power. So what do they do first? They will remove judges that they think don't work for them. They'll put judges that will work for them and make right-wing decisions.
Sorry, I want to correct. I made a mistake. I think I was looking at the elections before. ANC got 57.5, the DA got 20.7, and the EFF got 10.8.
Brilliant.
I think the seats before was the elections before 2019.
Brilliant.
Because I remember it being 10%, so I just needed to double check.
But all the same.
But I can be corrected as well if I'm still making
all the same, EFF is a junior player in this particular scenario, right? So once the DA gets into power, they will put people in key things, which is what we black people don't understand, which Mugabe understood. You remove judges and put judges that are more palatable to your political policy. And you do it unapologetically. You make sure that you remove people within the police leadership and the prosecuting authority system, and you put people amenable to you. You go to the army, you do the same. Once they have done that, they've got a system that can now enforce what they need. The unfortunate part is that they're always going to make decisions that are going to make the majority angry at some point. And remember, they don't have a majority mandate.
This is the DA.
The DA.
Yeah.
So the majority are going to start uprising. But they are prepared for that. Because they've got a democratic mandate to run this country. And they will utilize the words of insurgency, they will utilize words of insurrection, and make sure that they use their police to deal with this. And they've got the support of the West, because the West needs South Africa to align with the Western agenda. So unlike apartheid, if they use very draconian methods to control the masses, the Americans will say, it's fine. The same way they've accepted neo-Nazis in in Ukraine, they will accept this government cracking down on black people. So black people don't realize that you will not get out of that system with a world that supports you. The world is going to turn away. The West is going to turn away because they need a friend in South Africa. They need a friend in Zambia to control SADC.
I want to shut this conversation
and
down.
So this is where I say the EFF is very compromised because Floyd has said it in his own words. Those people who don't believe me must go and watch the interview. He has said it in his own words clearly, and he reiterated it that the only problem we have is that the DA is arrogant. They don't want us there. And I'm saying, no, those are just words, meaningless words. The DA and the EFF will surprise us as they've done in municipalities, and they will end up coming together as long as they promise the EFF boys something. So if they say to Julius Malema, you'll be the deputy president, he will sell out. And they have not said or ruled out that they would do a deal with the DA. They want a deal with the DA. The DA is the one playing hardball. Then they said, we will only do a deal with the ANC if they remove Cyril Ramaphosa.
That's the EFF.
That's the EFF. If they do not remove Cyril Ramaphosa, they can go to hell. So what does that mean? We'll go with the DA. So it's very likely that we'll see a DA government next year.
That's what you're forecasting?
You said who will win? I believe the ANC will win because its survival depends on it.
By win, you mean over 50% of the vote?
That's the only choice they've got. Get over 50% so you don't depend on the smaller Nyana guys. Because this game, you remember how people have always alleged that Cyril Ramaphosa bought his way into the presidency?
Yeah.
If Cyril Ramaphosa can be alleged to have bought the way into the presidency, imagine what white monopoly capital is willing to do to ensure a coalition of opposition parties against the ANC. They will break the bank to do it. In fact, they don't need to break the bank. They've got so much money. They can't break banks. They could tell easily each and every political leader and political party that will give you 10 million rand. You will never know poverty again to vote with the DA.